gals and guys. Welcome to the mixed media kit for December. This is the video that's going to show you what I'm creating for using the mixed media kit. So this is based off, this is kind of a fun little project. We made this project at a church Young Women's Night. I am in the Young Women's, and every Tuesday we have activities with them. And last night we made these blocks, really cool. One of our awesome leaders found it on the internet and we made it. So I'm actually going to show you kind of how to make these on Friday in a video on my blog on there. So look for that, or look for it on YouTube in a couple days. But it's going to be basically inspired by this. I love the shape of this and how these are just wood blocks that have been cut out, and then paper, I put paper on them and stenciled them and added paint and stuff and all sorts of things to them. You'll see that in Friday. But I just liked the idea of how it was stacked like that. Last year I did a Christmas tree where I cut it into a V, and then, in fact, do I have it close by? I don't think I do. But I cut it into like a triangle shape, and then I put all different kinds on there. I'll link the blog page to it. But this one I wanted to be a little different. So we're going to make this, but we're actually going to make it with a twist, because I know there's a lot of butterfly stuff in there, and the paper palette is a little bit different. So I kind of wanted to do it, but do it a little more, just more modern. Just kind of not your typical traditional colors. So this is what I have. The only thing that I've added besides the kit so far is a 10 by 10 canvas. And I might add more, it depends, but it will just be little teeny things that maybe you could find around your house. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is I'm just going to cover this canvas with tissue paper and Mod Podge. So I'll put Mod Podge down first, then tissue paper over it. And I'm going to put it in fast forward, and a lot of the things I'm going to fast forward or cut out just if it's just mundane things that you're watching me do over and over. Mainly just because, and people ask me all the time why, because YouTube only allows the videos to be 15 minutes long. And I hate doing stuff in 2 parts. So that's why we fast forward it. And in my online classes, we don't, because I don't use YouTube for those, but in here we do. So anyways, I'm going to put this in fast forward mode, and when I come back, we will add some texture to it. So just because I want to calm this down a little bit, I am going to take some basic white paint, and I'm going to just go over this lightly with white paint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually water down the white paint just a teeny bit, or just add a little bit of, well, let's just put it right on here. So I'm just going to get my paintbrush just a little bit wet, just because it'll make it more transparent. So you can see how just brushing it over the top is just going to calm down that pattern, because we don't want our Christmas tree to totally be thwarted by this bright, bold pattern of the words, because they are pretty bold. So that's good. And now I'm going to take my paint dabber. Well, let's try that really fast. But in your kit is included the Punchinella, and also this really cool stencil. It's like a paint, kind of look like it's splattered paint from Crafter's Workshop. So we are going to actually put this on the canvas for some fun background texture. Okay, so what we'll do is this is where we're going to use the blue, and using my teeth for that. If you've never used a paint dabber, love these for a lot of reasons, just because, especially if you're traveling, they're really easy to use and they're small. But you just pop the top and then push it until the paint comes out, and then you just dab it on. So I am just using it to go on in places, and I'm actually going to use it to cover, paint the sides of my canvas. Which is nice and simple and easy. And then You can actually use 2 colors on this, so I'm going to grab another color besides this, just because I want you to be able to see the difference. So I'm just going to go on here and dab this on, and you can see all the really fun, cool texture that it left on there. So I think I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do this in maybe like a, you know what, and this is glitter I just stuck in here, so I'm just going to put a teeny bit of glitter on this wet paint, just to give it a little bit of sheen since it is a Christmas. I'm going to use green too, I think. So I'm just using some basic craft. This is what I do. I don't take care of my paints, so they... Come on, I just need a little bit. There we go. Alright, let's see how that just gives us some cool other texture. I'm actually going to use some of this green and put some on the edges too, just to give it a little more. Okay, so now we also have that we could add for texture the stamp, and I'm just going to take black. Since we've got a lot of black and white, and I kind of like the color palette that we're doing right now. And so I am just going to take it, put it on black ink, this is an archival ink, but it's permanent and waterproof. So you can use StazOn, you can use this, but I am just putting it kind of randomly in places. Trying to get a good image of that. Make sure you get your sides. You want your sides to have texture. See how it just adds some fun, more texture to it. Okay. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to start cutting out the tree using the paper from the paper pad. This paper pad is actually by Fancy Pants, and it's an exclusive paper pad. I taught a workshop at Spark earlier this year, and I got to choose a bunch of the different papers, and we pulled them down into smaller prints, and then she created this exclusive paper pad. So we actually do have, I think, a couple in our store, but not very many, I'm not sure. Anyway, so I'm going to pick out some papers, I'm going to cut them into strips, and then we will come back to this point. Okay, so I have all the pieces cut out, and basically I just did the same size strip of everyone because I wanted to make sure I put them in order. So this is probably the order that I want to do this in, and I'm still trying to decide. I kind of like this, so I might use it actually instead of that. I don't know. But now what I'm going to do, because I know which order I'm going to go in, I'm going to just come in and cut them smaller and smaller and smaller all the way to the top. So I'm going to fast forward and do that. So now what I want to do is I want to add I want to define all these blocks. So I'm just going to use my favorite pastel pens, the Indian ink pens. Great for shading, and I am just going to come in and shade each of these blocks. So I'm just going to basically use the same color of the background. And see how that Faber-Castell pen just totally pops that Christmas tree. So now it's like sticking out. It looks great. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is come in with my doodle pen, and I'm just gonna, actually I'm gonna make sure that's dry. And I'm just gonna define these places. Let's zoom in on that so you can see. So now we're going to come in and add, we have these rub-ons. And this is where it's going to be a little unconventional too, because they're butterflies, but I kind of like it. I like that this is not traditional, like how different it is. So this is just for texture, these rub-ons are. So I'm just going to come in here and in random places put the rub-ons down. Okay, so you can see how all the different rub-ons that I added in places just give it a little bit more fun texture. Okay, so now we're going to add a rub-on to the top of the tree like we would like a star. So I'm using these rub-ons from Seven Gypsies, or butterfly rub-ons, and I'm just going to pick out one of the butterflies and I'm going to put it on the top just like you would put the top of the star on the tree. So I'm going to kind of figure out which one I want, and then we're going to rub it on. I don't know, I kind of like the huge one. Either the huge one, or I like, you see, I like this brown, that's cute, or I like this really big orange one, or yellow one. They're all so dang cute. I think I'm going to go for big. Go big or go home, right? Yeah. It'll balance out. We've got the big and it'll come up and go small and then bigger at the top. So with this one, I do want the whole rub-on to come off, so I'm just going to take my time. And these are Seven Gypsies. Seven Gypsies are a lot easier to come off. So actually you've got to be careful that you're not pressing your finger in places where the other rub-ons are, because sometimes those will come off too. So I'm just going to carefully do this, and I kind of like that it's the yellow one because its star is yellow. Cute. Look how fun that is. And I actually even liked how there was this little one right above it. I might add, I think I'm going to add that brown one in there. Cute, cute. So that's the top of our tree. And then if you wanted to, you could come in and do just some smaller ones. That's what I think I'll do. Okay, so I've added the rub-ons, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of paper, I cut it, I printed it off my Word document just in Microsoft Word, and so I just basically created a brown text box, filled it with brown, and then printed the words in white on top, like did the words in white. So filled it with brown, the words in white. I'm going to cut these out, and then I'm going to put them on top of this corrugated cardboard paper, and I'm going to put this in fast forward mode, and we'll finish this off. Okay, so I think we are done. I added a teeny bit more texture. I had to cut that part out because the video was just so long. It was 46 minutes long, and even with fast forwarding it was too long. So we've used the December kit, and I just used more texture. I just added some more of the stamps on there, some more of the paint with what I did at the beginning. So have fun with this. I love this, how this turned out. Totally non-traditional canvas. You know, it's based off of this tree that I'm going to show you how to make on Friday out of wood blocks. So anyways, enjoy it, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.